Before I start my video, I just want to say I hit a big milestone during July. I hit 11,000 subscribers. 10,000 only seems like yesterday. It's going nice and quick, guys. But I do obviously check my analytics quite a lot. And during July, I had over 20,000 unique viewers. And I have 11,000 subscribers. That means 9,000 of you out there are not subscribed to my channel but watching my videos. If you are someone who watches on a regular basis, you might want to think about hitting that subscribe button. It does support my channel. It is 100% free. If you haven't got a YouTube account, you might want to think about creating one so you can hit the comments up on the videos and the live streams. It's always good to talk to you guys. And hitting the subscribe button, like I said, for free is a great way to support content creators, and YouTube does pay a lot of attention to how many subscribers you have. I want to thank you very much for listening, and now on to the video. Hello survivors, and welcome to another Walking Dead Road to Survival video. And in this video we're going to be taking a first look at S-Class Kenny, who is going to be the 5th anniversary character for RTS. As you can see at the top, it says Anniversary Edition. This is the anniversary character. This is the anniversary character for the anniversary event. If we take a look at his visuals, there's something you're going to notice straight away. Well, actually, I didn't notice it straight away when I first looked, but AJ is actually wrapped around him. That is AJ in one of those sort of like baby wraps that you can get. So this would mean that this is timed the end of season 2 or beginning of season 3, or maybe the transition between the two seasons. We have got the eye patch on him, so we know it's after, you know, that part of season 2, but that is AJ wrapped around him, so it is nearer the end for sure. And I love this. I really do love this. Kenny, of course, is a big favorite for a lot of people from the Telltale games, and having baby AJ wrapped around him just is something extra. I love those very small things that we see on some of these Telltale characters. For instance, Krista has the walkie-talkie that Clementine had at the very beginning of the game on her belt. Something just very small, but I love it. You can see his avatar on the left is a brand new avatar as well. It doesn't look like any of the other Kenny characters. And he is an S-Class character, so you're going to get those purple stars as well. He has got 30 veteran rings in here, and that gives him 3,630 attack, 4,443 defense, and 4,135 HP. He is considered a support character, and his trait is alert. Now, if we take a look at his adrenaline rush, it's called We Ain't Dead Yet. It is a 66 AP cost rush. All teammates get 75% attack, focus, and 50 crit for 2 turns. Revive one teammate with 50% of their max HP. That teammate gets a Guardian Shield. Kenny instantly reminds me of 6-star Alice with this buff, 75% attack boost, and the focus, and the revive, and there's stuff added on top of it. This rush is actually better than Alice's rush, which is incredible. This will work quite well on an attack team, of course, but it could actually potentially work on a defense team as well, because he has got quite defensive stats, but you're going to have to gear him really well to make him last on a defense team. If you use him next to, let's say, Bria, or in an Erin attack team, any characters that do damage in that team are going to get massively boosted. So with Kenny's rush, there are 2 good things offensively that are going to be great. It's going to be the attack up to all, 75% is massive, and also the focus, because you can bypass shield with focus. If we're going to charge up Priya's rush and Kenny's rush, we've got Doc Stevens, we know they're going to get their rush. I can obviously control the Neutralize, so I do not have these 2 characters neutralized on this turn. We do not control the shield, and that means the shield will obviously shield, as we'll see. Here we go. And then if I try to select any characters, I can't. The only character I can select is Frost. However, when I do the rush of Kenny, I can now select every single character because everyone on my team has focus, and that means I can attack behind the shields. This is very, very important, of course. Not just that, they also have 50 crit and 75 attack boost. And if you have got someone who's got Rampage, like Priya, obviously, the amount of damage output you can do is going to be pretty immense. Especially if you've got extra 1535 weapons. If you hit some double attacks, it's going to be crazy. And then obviously, you don't have to necessarily wait for that taunt and then buff on Princess, although it'll be absolutely insane with this buff, because she already has 110% attack boost, and you know you're going to be able to take out the last character with her. Okay, so I'm just going to show you how his rush works on a defense team, or at least how it works when someone is taken out. And it is actually going to work slightly differently than I expect. I'm just going to basic attack him. He should get his rush for turn, let's say, we'll take out this character. We'll let him get a natural rush. Now watch this. This is the interesting part. What should happen is, Kenny should pick up this character. They should get a Guardian Shield, and they should get 50% of their HP. However, what's going to happen is, they're also going to get the buffs from that rush, which is very uncommon, especially when it's got the revive at the end of the rush. I'll just defend on prayer and you'll see what I'm going to do. The character gets picked up, he does his rush, but you'll see he still has the crit, the focus, the attack, and the Guardian Shield, and the 50% HP. Normally the revived character doesn't get the extra buff, so this is something a little special on top, which is going to be very, very useful to know on an attack team. So if you have someone taken out, you can revive them with Kenny, and they're going to get the buffs for that turn. And generally when you revive someone, it's because they've been destroyed, and that means that they're going to have quite a lot of AP and maybe rush, or they've been exhausted, someone like Arav, and he could rush afterwards with a 75% attack boost. Very, very, very strong. So I really like what I see with this rush. I can't really complain. The only thing I can maybe say is there's no heal here, and that could be the extra bit on top, but it's very, very offensive based. I think this guy is going to be a bit more of an attacking character. A supporting attacking character is great, and he is going to work on Erin teams. So everyone who's newer to the game, who have Erin, if you get this character, these characters are going to go work really well together. If you have Priya as well, those characters are going to work really well together. I think this is going to be quite a good character from high to low, just based on what he adds. 75% attack, focus, crit, guaranteed turn 2 rush if you run a quick AP team. I can see this rush coming into a lot of usage on a lot of different teams. But that is not all. He also has an extremely powerful active skill. It is elusive and AP gain. It has an initial cooldown of turn 1, cooldown of 3, number of uses 5. This character and up to 2 teammates get elusive for 2 turns. This character gains 50% AP. This is extremely powerful, and while I said it was offensive, the rush, and this is actually quite good offensively too, because if you give people elusive on their first turn, basic attacks don't actually make it so that the enemy gains AP. Very, very powerful with Rampage Priya, obviously, but on a defense team, this is very, very powerful, especially with that 50% AP gain in there. It's a guaranteed second turn command rush or third turn natural rush with him gaining that 50% AP, which would be 33. The only time he wouldn't rush on an attack team is if he wasn't getting leader bonus and he was getting a huge bonus on his weapon. He would have 63 AP, so he would need one 8% weapon, and a lot of people do run Rick, so you wouldn't necessarily need leader bonus to make this guy work. So just to show you how it works, I'm going to do exactly the same attack against exactly the same team, except this time I'm going to do his active first. You can see the 3 players that got the elusive was Priya and Dr. Stevens and himself. Now himself getting it isn't actually that big a deal, because what will happen is, especially in this situation, I'm going to active turn 1, that'll be 1 turn of elusive, and then turn 2 I will be obviously rushing. So again, not any offensive based elusive bonuses there. But the defense team has got a lot of tough characters on it, and they won't gain AP from attacking him. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to basic attack with Priya, and what would normally happen is with the amount of damage that she does, you'll see a lot of AP gain here. But because she has elusive, 0. No AP gain, and this is huge. This is absolutely huge for Rampage teams, particularly Priya's in the middle that have a lot of team player weapons around her. If you've got 3-4 team player weapons, you're looking at like 20 to 25k damage. It's just immense, and the amount of AP gain a lot of defense teams can get from that is huge. Now there is RNG in here. It's pretty much going to be like 50-50 that it goes to Priya or one of the other characters, because 2 of the 4 will get it. But still, regardless, when she does get it, it's going to be really big bonus. We'll do the same situation as before, where we'll obviously control the same character, so there won't be a neutralize. And you will see someone did attack Kenny, and you see barely any AP gain. 0 AP gain on all of the defense team, because they all attacked Doc Stevens, the ones that were controlled, and he has elusive. And then someone did attack Kenny, and I think someone must have attacked Priya as well. So there we go, no one gained AP. There's no AP there, except there's a little bit on Pete here. Now we can do the same situation again. We rush with Kenny, and then we can rush through the shields, and then again, no AP gain. So even if we do huge amounts of damage to someone, these two characters got absolutely obliterated. They didn't gain any AP because she's still got elusive on that turn too, which is very, very powerful, of course. So that active skill, obviously, offensively, you can see how you can utilize it, and it can be insanely strong. But also on a defense team, that's just going to be just as powerful. There can be the certain character that you want to gain AP on. There could be the one window on a defense team, and if you haven't got a fast AP gain attack team, that defense team is going to have elusive to 3 characters. If it hits that one who is the window, who hasn't got stun on defense, hasn't got impair on defense, then you're not going to be gaining AP because they've got elusive. Now that can be stolen with something like ransack, of course. There are ways around it, but this is an extremely powerful active skill. Now lastly, you can see that he does have Neutralize. You could see that from the start just because of the logo in the bottom right hand corner. We did get this with Glenn, and I do actually think Neutralize is a pretty good specialist skill. I know a lot of people don't like it, but impair resist isn't really around that much, and it's a guaranteed impair if someone hasn't got impair resist, as long as they've got 80% or more of their adrenaline, which means they're not going to rush. This is very powerful on attack teams. Let's say if a revive is just about to rush, you could just basic attack them and they're not going to rush the next turn. Extremely powerful as long as they're 80% or more on their adrenaline rush. So obviously overall, Kenny is an extremely powerful character, and he is the definition so far of a support character. Now when it comes to his weapon, he does not actually have one. And this is actually quite a big bonus, because that means you don't have to upgrade the weapon that he's got in his hands. You don't have to make it 5-star to get the weapon you want into his hands. There is a weapon that is for him right now in the League store, and that would be pretty much this weapon right here. It gives all adjacent teammates 15% attack and 35 crit. Offensively, this is going to buff the central character, which is going to be Priya a lot of the time, or it's going to buff another damage dealer that is next to Kenny on the same side. For instance, in that team that I was using before, it would buff Princess as well. It will also buff Kenny, but that doesn't matter too much. He's not an offensive character at all. He's going to be doing basic attacks, but you're mainly going to use that to neutralize characters rather than damage. The only downside of this weapon, it is offensive otherwise. It has got 30% attack. You might want to make it defensive, or you could just make it offensive and just roll with it, because this weapon will be good in other people's hands as well. The likes of Krista and Gentleman, for instance. So I'm actually pretty happy he doesn't have an attached weapon because of this, and it will actually make that weapon that I purchased from the season store come into some good usage. So that is Kenny overall as an S-class character. I am really happy with how he's going to be turning out. I'm happy with his art with the AJ on the front. Oh my god, the AJ on the front, the rush, the active. I like the specialist skill. I know the specialist skill is probably debatable. Some people don't like it, but I don't mind Neutralize too much. And the fact that he hasn't got a weapon is nice as well. You can just slide one straight into his hands, no questions asked, no problems. Overall, I think this is going to be a big benefit to a lot of people's rosters, particularly people who don't have a lot of offensive power. This guy is going to boost your attack team massively. Get your hands on this guy if you can. He is going to be part of the 5th anniversary event that is going to run for 4 weeks. We're going to have more information on that as it drops. But this is Kenny. Tell me what you think about him in the comments. That is the end of my video. I want to thank you very much for tuning in. As always, keep on surviving, guys. Keep on surviving.